The Mahoning County Board of Elections will hold a special board meeting of the members of the board on Tuesday, September 9th at 9 a.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoning County Board of Elections offices, 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio. Would the director call of the roll, please?
Ms. Barger?
Here.
Attorney Beatrice?
Here.
Attorney Robinson?
Here.
Attorney Baird?
Would the vice chairwoman of the Board of Elections lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a moment of silence for our country and our troops, please?
No. Eat, Mom.
Thank you. Chairman's report. We're going to open the ballot bids for the November 4th, 2025 general election. How many bids do we have?
We received two bids. We received one bid by email that does qualify and has to be submitted to this board. And so we have a bid from Integrated Voting Systems for paper ballots for election day, and then it also includes a bid by absentee by mail.
So this is just one bid,
They're two separate bids, same company.
but one's for absentee and one's the same
That
day.
is
Okay, let the record reflect that I'm opening up the bids from Integrated Voting Systems. It says, "Dear Mr. McCabe and Ms. Wasco, thank you for the opportunity to bid on the absentee ballots. Integrated Voting Systems, please respond with an all-inclusive ballot pricing. We will continue to provide professional services," yada, yada, yada. Okay. They have the bond there. And summary cost sheets for absentee paper ballot bids for November. It is cost per ballot for 40,000 ballots, one page is $1.30. 40,000 ballots, cost per ballot, 2 pages is $1.30. 40,000 ballots, 3 pages, cost per ballot, $1.50. And 40,000 ballots, 4 pages, $1.50. And I'm assuming this is the absentee because it's 40,000. All right. Hand this to my fellow board members while they inspect it before I open up the next one.
I want a cookie. Oh my God. No one. Going dinosaur. Not a dinosaur.
Okay. All right. Now, do we, now this is from Integrated Voting Systems, same day ballot for paper ballots, same cover letter. The bond looks to be in order.
What's the boy? Boy.
They have the specifications there. I'm not gonna read them all, but I'm assuming,
I want to take that off.
delivery date's 21 days before election, that's good. Everything else seems to be in order. All right, paper ballots at the polls, 160,000 ballots approximately, but not limited to. 1 page, 17-inch ballot including stub, 40 cents a ballot. 2 pages, 80 cents a ballot. 3 pages, $1.30 a ballot. And 4 pages, $1.70. Up to 4 pages, 17 inches, 50 cents a side. I will let my fellow board members look at this also.
Melissa, you have a weird look on your face. Question?
It's just very high, right? For what they usually do.
Well, that's for a, I noticed on the back here, it's a 17-inch ballot, but then on the back, a 14-inch ballot's the same price.
Sub, that makes it 17.
Yeah.
Take that off. I want
Oh, wait a
to
minute,
take
cost
that
per
off.
ballot, wait a minute,
I want to take that off.
Usually it's around 18 to 20 cents.
18 cents.
That's what they think.
But why are they saying this?
I want to take it. I want to take it.
Looks like cost per ballot is 18 cents. I don't know why they have
I'm
that.
doing
That
for
might have been from the
Look
bid.
at it.
It sounds like the schematic from the absentees, frankly. They made it superimposed it.
Hey, wait.
That's
Hey,
the
wait,
company
Tom.
that sent out the accepted bids.
Hey,
so
wait,
you can see the
Tom.
following.
Hey, wait,
So taking higher than that, so then
Mom.
you have to go back to 18
Wait,
cents.
up, Mom.
18 cents a ballot.
Mom. Not. Oh. No.
Mm-hmm.
And what's our history with
In my room.
integrated voting systems?
I don't
We've used
in
them
my
off and on for
room,
the past
Mom.
2-3 years. Overall, it's been a pretty
Hey.
good experience.
No,
We had trouble with perforations, just a few minor things.
what's the one we really had the
Take
problems
that
with?
off.
That
There were
was,
2 that-
Election IQ.
Election IQ and the other one that held up our counting of the ballots on election night, which
You're
couldn't.
thinking of the absentee being on the, is that what you're talking about?
On election night, there was something wrong with it, reading it, remember that the results came out
That
early.
was integrated voting system.
That was integrated voting systems. Have they remedied that problem, or,
We believe so,
well, we haven't used them since then, right?
that's correct.
Which election was this?
So we had an election, and our election day results were really delayed because of the way they printed the ballot. And so it just really delayed getting the results out. That was integrated voting system. Election IQ, they just really
I will take those.
hurt us bad.
Mom.
And they
Is
didn't,
it like a late delivery or something?
no, the way they,
Wait,
so
Mom.
the sticks that came in were okay. But the other ballots that came in that we had to count, like curbside and all that other stuff,
They had put absentee on the top
Tell
of the
me.
ballot when we did absentees, and it interrupted the time.
Who
So we had to scan those in smaller batches, and it took longer to upload. It took an additional 45 minutes.
Fat wing.
but
No,
All right.
bigger. No, bigger.
this is, the contractor is Midwest Pre-Sorting Mail Services, and we've used them before, right?
That's correct.
And this is a bid bond from
Not
Liberty Mutual
you.
Insurance Company,
Want it
and the bid bond looks like it is.
Want it
This is
you.
Midwest Direct, original,
Want it my chair? Want it my
printing of the
chair?
absentee ballots.
I did good. No. Payment. Yeah. Pin no bigger.
So, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly, because this seems to be a little higher than what I normally see.
Oh, what doing for it? Oh, don't do it. Oh,
Oh, am I
don't
reading this
for it.
correctly? It's $1.80 per packet, cost per ballot.
I believe the rewrite Scott's here, I believe.
Scott,
Yes, that's correct.
$1.80 for 1 page,
Yeah, for the, with the envelopes and everything included.
Okay.
and then $2.30 for 2 pages.
No.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
$2.39.
That includes 3 envelopes.
IBS included that.
I have to check that back. Here's the bond.
Okay, got it.
Doesn't have, it doesn't say,
No.
looks like it doesn't say that, Tom.
I did.
Am I reading that correctly?
Did that. What did no did that. Did no did that. What my
That's
TV?
50 cents a page
Oh,
ballot.
take it.
But does that include
My
the
TV.
mailing and the envelope return and everything? Is anyone here from Integrated Voting Systems?
Me. I want them. I want. Oh. Look. Stickers up. Dip me. Dip me. Two. And dip me too. Dip me. I want. We'll play dinosaur. We'll play dinosaur. We'll play dinosaur.
It doesn't say, David.
So if it doesn't say, then it's not included.
Somewhere in the bid, it says their price has to include the whole.
I'm going for it.
Let me see that. Let me
Wow.
see the terms.
It's somewhere in our bid.
Yeah, but we've been down that road where we've had to envelopes before too.
I figured we would say that in the discussion.
It does say that though. You're correct, Mel.
Good. We'll play my down. Mom. We'll play. We'll play you.
So all they did was include our bid specifications.
Yeah, but in our bid specifications, it does say that their price includes.
Cookie.
And he just has cost per ballot here, where's that other one? And it says cost per
What am I
packet.
not done for it? What not done for it?
That's a huge difference. I don't think theirs includes, I think they're just printing up the absentee ballots.
It kind of says on the, my understanding, it's just the absentee ballots. Based on our, what we think we're going to have in absentees, it's a difference of about $5,000 total between the two companies for the absentees.
Yeah, but we don't know if that includes everything it's supposed
But
to.
it,
Go ahead.
but are we allowed to weigh in on this?
Yeah,
But we should consider that this would be integrated voting, they just had a change in management, it had not been absentee before, that's why we didn't utilize it in the last election for absentees.
No.
Less is not necessarily the best.
No, we're supposed to go-
Less and best, and we know from all of our experiences, at least in the last 3 years, that you are paying for actually the company who has the facility, has the capability, even the use of the word packet shows you the difference in approach.
and it simply says the worksheet must accompany your bid.
Like, I'm not comfortable with integrated voting doing absentees because they haven't done them before. The gentleman said,
And they're not showing me their work,
right.
I'm
Whereas-
going for it.
Midwest is.
I'm
Did you go see
It's a
this
different
one?
level of professionalism in a company.
Yeah.
No, want it.
I like them, they're very nice,
I want it.
but absentees are much more specific than
I want
election day
to
ballots.
take that
Absentees, you
all.
have to be really on your game.
I'll
You have to
take
have a
that
different election
I
With the
take that
absentees,
all.
Be very cautious.
All right, now we're going to the general election.
I take it. Wet wings. Wet wings. Wet wings. Oh, boom.
18.185.
Oh, my teeth.
One card duplicate,
Teeth.
0.37, two card duplicate, and 0.55,
My teeth.
three cards.
Okay.
3 pages, is that what that would be?
Okay.
Am I reading that correctly?
Oh, my teeth. Oh.
You are.
There you go.
Okay.
No, take one.
I don't know why they use one card duplicate, wouldn't it be one?
That's a one ballot, double-sided, and that's what we're expecting this election.
So
Okay.
they're at 18.185 versus
No. No.
0.18.
No.
It's a difference of $825 for 165,000 ballots.
And we've used Midwest Direct, right?
We have in the past, always had a pretty good experience. And it's actually one of these facilities that some of the board members should go up and visit. I don't know if they have time or not, but it's quite the operation. They have their own post office within the facility.
So the law requires us to go with the best and lowest, not just the lowest. And so I'll let
My
Denise
toy
review
story
that
will
before
be
we have a
wet.
discussion on it.
No tea, Dada. No beta.
What was the difference, John, again, between the two?
On the election day ballots, $825.
And you said the absentee ballots was five thousand?
About 5,000.
Well, we don't exactly know.
We're estimating 10,000, and we're also,
No, we don't know if that bid included everything because they didn't show us their work and they don't have a representative here.
and there's still a possibility that we bring the absentees in-house. We bid just in case, because small elections, we use our staff to do mailers, print and mail. And large elections, government, presidential, primary, presidentials, we use an
Have we made a
outside
determination on what we're gonna do? The absentees this year?
vendor. No, we wait to see the volume of absentees coming in, and then make that determination, so we did want a backup just in
What? No,
case.
dinosaurs.
We decide to use one.
What- Well, I'll make a motion that we accept Midwest's both absentee and same-day ballot bids. So Chairman made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second it. Is there any discussion? I want to have discussion.
And you deal with these, any,
Sue?
You mean Susan?
I mean Sue, I'm sorry. Do you have anything you want to bring up about Midwest or?
I think we've only had ballots once since I've been doing the ballots. My only concern with ballots is getting them here on time, how to package, whether they're shrink wrapped in between, like if we have them packaged in 100 and then shrink wrapped in 500. So I know how we're gonna put them in the block boxes and then down into the machines. Nick and I have to coordinate that. And that the preparations, because we get a lot of calls where, people are using scissors to cut the ballots because the preparations aren't good. We don't want any, ever our voters to see people using scissors. And in busier elections, the preparations, when they don't come good, then, it slows up the lines and everything, and then everybody gets frustrated. So those are my big concerns.
My one concern was integrated voting systems hasn't done absentees, right? So they have new management or something?
they switched, and the folks that are in charge now have not done absentees before. As a matter of fact, they were awarded the bid last election, and they opted not to utilize it because they were brand new at it, and they did not understand the verbiage, they didn't understand the software, they didn't understand the daily routine of absentees, and so we did them in-house. I feel like you have to considering everything we've been through with printers, that it's a handwritten envelope versus a coordinated package with the right verbiage, that particular company understands the daily routine of absentees, how important it is to let us know today what was mailed out. I just don't feel integrated voting is ready to do that.
I agree, and I had hate to bring up my 4th grade math teacher, but she, even if you got the wrong answer, if you showed your work, you got partial credit. Midwest showed us all their work. Midwest showed us all their work, and Integrated really didn't. They just said, here it is, and we don't know if that, it can't include everything at $1.30 a ballot. There's no way. That includes postage, the envelopes and everything else, and the return envelopes. It's just, to me, I don't think they understood what we were requesting. And Midwest actually showed us everything that was
And
included.
we'll be able to do it. To Tom's point, when integrated voting, even with the prior management, and they were very accessible, however, they did call us a couple of elections ago, you guys have other envelopes we could use. You're not gonna get that. Like Midwest, because they have a huge city, they have it down to a sign.
All right. Is there any other questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Attorney Robinson?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next item on my report is a discussion with county council to bring the Mahoning County Board of Elections into compliance with the Secretary of State's directive. Now, I know I've gone a little crazy on this issue. I tried to play nice at first, but it's just not moving the ball down the field. And we all took an oath. Denise recently, me recently, and I think Lisa recently, it was you, Sandy,
No,
Lisa. And one of the oaths we took was we followed the directives of the Secretary of State. We took that oath. And the Secretary of State gave us until August 28th to come into compliance, and we're out of compliance.
How far out of compliance are we? That's my question.
Far.
I'm not,
The two big issues are the alarm system that we can have installed by November. It's a hard building to alarm.
Be a stupid waste of money.
if we're not gonna stay here.
It would be. And then the second issue was,
The fire alarm, and then the separate alarming of
Equipment.
the equipment and apps and our stuff being segregated and not having access.
correct.
Which really, some of the security stuff would be preferable in the literature rather than
Go my
discussed
T-Rex.
openly, because some things aren't supposed to be
T-Rex.
open
T-Rex.
to the public. That's the point of security. Not to be funny.
No,
I think we should be careful.
I know we should be careful, but the point is, it is fair for us to say
Mine.
that as far as the cybersecurity stuff goes, we're in compliance, right? Okay. The infrastructure requirements, we're not in compliance.
that's correct.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Has anybody gone to the Secretary of State and asked for an extension? We can't be the only county in Ohio.
We're not the only county. I've talked with the Secretary of State's office, multi-levels, and as long as we're moving forward, we're gonna be okay with this. We gotta be moving forward.
Right.
And we are.
Well, we're really not. Only because of my screaming have we gotten the movement just recently. This been, I mean, Sandy was here a year ago when we were shown a building. And nothing happened, no discussion. Is it my understanding that until recently, no one's interfaced with Melissa nor Tom about what the infrastructure and what a building would need to look like.
I think it started when we first left
Look
Austin
it
Town,
up,
and I think then when we actually looked at the Austin Town building and saw everything that needed to be repaired on it, that kind of shut everything down. So I was glad to see that on Friday, that Commissioner Fabio, and he brought the executive director and the risk management for a tour. I know that Commissioner Rigetti was here yesterday.
My God.
Lisa has
Oh my
spoken to
God. Oh
Commissioner
my
Trafficant.
God.
So there is movement going on.
Yeah, but I've been enough around politicians enough to know. And look, I have First Amendment right, I'm gonna use it. They'll do stuff just to, quell everything down and then nothing gets done. The only thing that's gonna get done is if we keep the heat on this issue. I talked to Janet Carson,
Who's
who.
Janet Carson?
I'm meant to explain. She sits on the Board of Election in Geauga County. They had to actually sue the county commissioners at the facility. And I think that we should send a letter, do whatever we have to do to look into hiring a lawyer to keep the heat on. Because I think the only thing that's gonna happen is if they feel the pressure that we are serious. We are serious about this issue. And I'm glad they're moving now, finally. But Lisa, they've known about this for over a year. And so now that they feel a little bit of pressure, now they're coming around. Well, once they feel that that pressure valve has been released, or like, look, we did this, and in a year from now, we still don't have a building, we still don't have anything we do. The only thing I think we do is we have to keep the pressure on. That's the only thing that's gonna get it done.
Well, we know the directors are meeting, have a series of meetings set up in the upcoming months, culminating in one on November 19th, where then the directors will get together and come up with a proposal as to where we're at that time.
I didn't say we sue them. I didn't even say, I just wanna have someone on hold. I just wanna have someone there to say, hey, that, they met, they didn't do anything, and then we have to go from square one. I would rather be ready and be locked and loaded and say, all right, nothing worked out, we're not moving forward.
So your suggestion is we retain counsel prior to those meetings?
That we just retain counsel. The council is just simply there. And if these meetings don't work out or we don't move forward, what other choice do we have?
I think that we should wait and see, now that we've seen this concrete movement and dates on the calendar and activity happening, retain counsel if it turns out that.
I didn't even say we had to retain them. I'm just saying we have someone on hold. That we ask them to say, hey, can we look for someone? Just write a letter to that person, hey, things are moving fine, but if things break down, how fast would you be willing to move on it? Because I think that without having that hammer there, that things can move very slowly in government.
They move slowly. Why can't we be part of our own solution? And that is, from my understanding with discussions with the commissioners, the Patriot Building is really expensive to repair. Needs a new roof. The roof, according to Commissioner Trafficante, the roof is falling in certain places. It needs a new parking lot. It needs new HVAC. I think they paid $5 million for the building. They're gonna put, $8 or $9 million. I don't know anything about construction. I don't pretend to. But why don't we find our own building and take it to them and say, this is what we want, this is why we want it. I mean, I know as board members, we shouldn't be put in that position. But here we are, let's be solution oriented,
I'm all for solutions.
okay.
But we have been for 2 years now, for 2 years, saying we need a new building. And until I went nuts, I hate to say it, did anything happen? I mean, I went to at least 4 or 5 commissioners meetings, took pictures down there, pleaded with them, took them the actual guidelines from the Secretary of State's office and handed them each a copy of them and said, this is what we're required to do. They didn't call Melissa, they didn't call Tom, and everyone's throwing buildings out to them. Well, that's nice that people are throwing buildings out to them. But until they sit down with Tom and Melissa and see what it is we actually need, and they're the ones that know the most of what we need, throwing just buildings out to them or us going, hey, there's this building, there's that building, there's this building. There are certain things that our building needs, and as far as money, the money they've poured into this place, I mean, and I don't know if you know this or not, Lisa, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Last week, the air conditioners went out.
I heard
So
that.
it's been 3 weeks.
Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, and I don't think we should subject our employees to work in a building that's boiling. And my genuine fear is, I genuinely fear catastrophic building failure near election. I mean, I really feel that. And I don't know if we have an alternate plan in place. I've asked that we develop an alternate plan, but that can happen, okay? Because this building is just on its last leg. I mean, I don't know how many times in the last 6 months have we had to evacuate the building?
A few times.
A few times.
We have.
And when else did we have to evacuate the building the day before an election?
The smell, I remember that. Is there a possibility that we can store our equipment one place?
Well,
And,
can I answer that?
of course.
Okay. I'm so happy you asked that because it occurred to me when I was talking to the commissioner the other day and to Holly, and they were very receiving after their.
Public lashing?
Yeah, but it was a great conversation, and what I keep hearing from everybody is storage, storage, storage. Please know it's not storage. It's a workspace. Everybody keeps thinking it's like storage and we get it out at Christmas time. Because, I'm equating it to that. They're like, oh, we're getting out the dishes, it's Christmas time. It's not that. It is a workspace, and if you store 8 other facilities, 8 other boards of elections, you're supposed to be able to do your logic and accuracy testing down there, we do. So it's not just storage and then you're bringing it back.
I understand that.
So it's a
but
workspace.
But other counties do store off-site, or do have their workspace off-site.
So when you do that, you have to have more security, more alarming, more staffing. Do you know what I mean? It's a whole nother different wing. And then when you have your equipment being delivered, like it's a workspace, it's supposed to have a dock, it's supposed to be set up like that. You're supposed to put your e-poll books, your DS200s, even all of your storage of the paper in one nice, long, beautiful room where it's all alarmed.
Have you seen the Columbiana County Board of Elections?
I'm not.
That is how it's supposed to be done. They have one room, they have all their poll books, everything, proper power, all their machines. They have a fire alarm, they have fire alarms, they have actual physical cameras, they have limited access. That's how it's supposed to be done. So when there might be a reason, they might get something from the Secretary of State, hey, go do this or go check that. They'd have to go off-site, we'd have to take 2 employees, because it's not just one
2 sets of
employee.
alarming, security, fire suppression, workspace, Wi-Fi, more staffing. Like, for example, when you're in one operation, and that's part of like our issue here even, we run around this big old building to make things happen. That's the same as early vote. People discuss early vote being off-site. Well, that sounds nice, but that's more staffing, more alarming. Right here, we go and we can troubleshoot and we can see. Remember, that's seasonal folks. That's not your full-time staff, so they need oversight. It's 30 days of voting. So I would love that you
Plus,
consider
until we installed the security fence, we were out of compliance, and we're still out of compliance, because we cannot alarm
that door.
that door.
Yes.
So, what's the solution?
The solution is, we need a new building. We've needed a new building for 2 years. They're just, in my opinion, the state legislature set up boards of elections to be separate entities for a reason. And the reason they set us up to be independent and autonomous is the county commissioners have political considerations that are not ours. Ours are to follow the law and follow the Secretary of State's directives. They have separate political considerations that aren't our considerations. That's their considerations. We are set up to be autonomous for a reason, okay? They don't want us to be involved in the politics of it all, okay?
So we force them to spend money to get this building up to snuff.
Oh, this building is just,
Well, I mean, that's our only choice.
Well, the conversation right now is to see what we can do as we move along to meet compliance temporarily until we move.
Right.
And they said temporarily, and I said, well, you mean permanently meet compliance in here?
You
They
two
mean
talk
temporary. 'cause they intend to do that.
yeah.
But
This building, it's just, I would love to stay in the city of Youngstown, okay? But they have not until recently talked to Tom nor Melissa about what is available in the city of Youngstown that could fulfill our needs. It's not just a building. There's a lot of things that have to happen within that building. We have to have a safe. We have to have, a vault. We have to have proper security. I mean, these are voting machines, these are voting data, and it has to be secure and safe. And it's just, I know what they wanna do. They wanna keep us here or knock down the parking deck, and then that's crazy money. Just because they say, here, take this building, doesn't mean we have to take that building. Our building has to fulfill what this board feels is in compliance with what the Secretary of State wants. And, you sound like, when I hear people say, well, other counties aren't in compliance, that sounds like my kids, well, other kids do it, well, I don't care if
I'm
other
not
kids.
saying that.
No, I'm not saying that to you,
I'm not
just
saying that. I'm saying, we need more time, and we don't wanna be out of compliance, so let's ask for dispensation.
I think the Secretary of State is giving us some time to work this out. My frustration is, they've had a lot of time. They've had years to study this, and they keep studying it. At some point, you gotta take the test. This has been on their radar, I think, for 3 years. I know for sure, too. I mean, and until recently, nothing's moved.
But it is moving now.
Well, it is
It's
moving now, starting to move now.
So
But
first they
will
have-
it continue to move?
So we'll keep close watch on it. Go ahead.
I think, Dave, you moved the needle, you made them do what they're doing now, getting a space renovated, to bring all the equipment in one area. They're working today, they're working yesterday. I think you sent the message, I do. My concern is we retain counsel and communication stops.
Correct.
I didn't say that the council writes them a letter. I didn't say anything. I just said, we have someone on standby. If this process doesn't move in an expeditious fashion, okay, that we don't then have to wait. Well, all I'm saying is, we just have someone in the wings saying, hey, everything's going good now, and we want everything to go good. We don't want to sue you. We absolutely don't want to sue you. We want everything to keep moving. But if
How do you propose having someone in the wings? I mean, what do you mean by that? Just having a
so there's
discussion?
not many lawyers in the state that do this, okay? And so what it would be is actually a writ of mandamus, asking the court to order the county
Well, I'm
commissioners.
not talking about the procedure. I'm saying, short of retaining counsel, what are you proposing that we do?
That we write to the county prosecutor and say, we want to be able, but everything's, we can write a real nice letter. Look, I'm very appreciative they're working with us. But I also know that sometimes they'll work and then they go, okay, well, we quieted things down now. And then in a year and a half, we're still here. We have no concrete plans and nothing's really been moved forward. I want them to know that we're serious, that this has to continue. And, we're not saying we're suing you, we're just saying, hey, we want this to continue, we want it to continue in earnest. And if it doesn't continue, because if, say these things break down, or, it's 6 months, 7 months, and we're still studying it, okay? Then we have to go out, find someone, then it just delays it more. Because I think from the time they find us a building that is adequate until we're there, it's a year at minimum. And 2 years ago I've been saying this. And now 2 years have passed,
If we have 3 meetings
One
on the
do
calendar
my
now,
teabook.
and it's September, we have 3 meetings, ending in November 19th. Why can't we revisit this in November 19th?
Yeah, we could, I don't have much confidence because we,
If it sounds like communications and meetings and progress is breaking down at that point, that's when we can come back and say, we write a strongly worded letter, or we reach out to an attorney, and the reason why we have to reach out to counsel is because of the conflict that might arise with the prosecutor's office representing.
it's just that we've had these meetings before, we've had discussions before, and we are no further ahead.
Well, do you think that this now, and I defer to the directors, do you think that what's happening right now is the most progress that we've seen in?
Oh, yeah, this is the most part we've seen in the last 2 years.
I shouldn't have to set my hair on fire for this to happen, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, there's 2 things that happen. You set your hair on fire and the Secretary of State made a directive. We're out of compliance. So, I mean, we have 2 sticks beating the same horse.
Get up,
Maybe the motion could be to allow the director and deputy director to consult with the 3 or 4 attorneys, because I know them, you know, I've dealt with all of them over the years. Just to consult with them, tell them where we're going, they can get the process, it's consultation.
Yeah.
In the October meeting, if things aren't moving, and we're ready to go, we'll give you 3 or 4 recommendations.
Well, now that Denise raised that, maybe Denise's suggestion is the best, that we see how serious they are after these 3 meetings. And we're gonna have to rely on the 2 of you, okay? Or maybe 1 or 2 board members could attend these meetings. Probably Denise, and maybe Sandy or Lisa, because I'll set my hair on fire. And, because I'm tired of pleading.
What do you 2 think about solving our own problem? We go out, we secure, or we look for the wish list, the perfect building if one exists.
I still think we have looked at buildings, we've talked with realtors, there's not much out there, especially within city limits. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because there are buildings out there, but I still think the Patriot Building is an option. I think information, there's different information out there. We've talked with the Port Authority. It might not be in the new roof, it might not meet all that. One commissioner can say what he wants, but one commissioner also has an interest of keeping us here, because that commissioner bought this building.
I understand.
So you talk to 2 different commissioners, you get 2 different stories about the Patriot Building.
Actually, the discussion about the Patriot Building with both DeFabio and Trafficante yielded similar answers on the condition of the Patriot Building.
And if you talk to someone from the Port Authority,
They'll say it's better.
they'll give you a different version.
We were there, we didn't see one instance of the city falling in, no water.
We're actually
damage.
almost officials of understanding bad buildings.
Right, there was no water damage, there was nothing like that. It's a standalone building that we could tell the commissioners, depending on the condition of that building,
And I understand there's certain constituents that want us to stay in Youngstown. I'm all for it. But they haven't, the commissioners haven't done anything to make that happen. Other than to say, yeah, we should stay in Youngstown. Okay, let's stay in Youngstown. You wanna build a building? Build us a building. You wanna, they can issue bonds to build a building? Okay, they could do it. But they have separate political considerations that are not our considerations. Okay, and that's why we are an autonomous board, and I'm not hired, we're not hired by the county commissioners, someone seems to be confused. They were hired by the county commissioners.
But we also know that they have to approve any move we make.
Well, we're hoping
The law is unsettled. Look, we have to comply with Ohio law and the Secretary of State's directives. That isn't something we could say, oh, you know what, maybe we'll comply with that, maybe we won't. That's not how the law works. So if you have a dispute and they say, well, we're not doing that, the last last thing I wanna do is to drag this into court. But it's getting to the point where, what are they gonna do? They've known about this for a long time. They keep studying the issue. We're gonna study it some more. I'll give Denise her due and Lisa their due. Let's see what happens in November, and I'll buy you both dinner if we are in the same place we are now in November. I'll be willing to make you a gentleman's or ladies' bet that in November, we are no further ahead than we are right now. Because they've been studying it for 2 years.
I don't have your experience, I defer to that, but I think we should resolve our own problem. And we go get what we want and take it to them and say, this resolves our issues. I mean, I don't know if there's a magical building out there that will do that, but I'm willing to try.
So, just to be clear, that no matter where we go, any building we go into, there's gonna be a need for renovation.
Absolutely.
Like, it was gonna cost money, and that's just period. Making a good decision about it is good. I was driving yesterday and I saw it, is it Walgreens or a CVS in Midlothian, the corner of Midlothian? And I was like, oh, it's cool to have a drive-through, because we see buildings like that, and we're like, we could use that awning in that drive-through. There's no
Not enough
parking,
space.
there's no parking, you'd have to level. You look at Sparkles, oh, would that be cool? I don't know what the chill can plant looks like, but no matter
The
where
show
you
can't
go-
plan is just a no.
Well, but
That's a
it must be
no-go.
clear that operationally, we have basically been given a shirt that didn't fit. I like my little simple, and we've made it fit, and we've done good elections here. And I always say that's a testament to our staff. They take 10 extra steps for everything they do because of the logistics in this building. And so when we knew it would be important to not only meet compliance, and not only be secure, but to remember that we should be operationally better off than we are
Absolutely.
here.
And in Geauga County, they ended up not being.
And to
No, Geauga
David's
County
point,
sued and they finally got,
But-
they got a building that they needed.
But
Okay?
to David's point,
Not
there
enough
would be still
parking.
challenges like that. Right now, we're gonna discuss, the 3 meetings is discuss, then the next one, I forgot what we named it. But the last one is plan, and that was to meet compliance. And in those meetings, have that conversation finally about what do we actually need while we're fixing the compliance temporarily permanently here. So to David's
We
point,
can't
at
fix-
that point.
We can't fix the compliance
We
here.
know that, we do. But at least they'll be more educated on what we've been trying to say. But to David's point, you probably will be having a conversation in November about, okay, what's next in terms of moving forward into the. but
What
this
about,
is a
what
great
about us?
start.
What about us?
It's a good start.
What about us having a realtor go out and see if there's anything?
We have been doing that for the last.
Well, that, and don't you think at this point, if we actually are looking for what's optimal, so we should draw a plan of what's optimal? Shouldn't you propose that?
It's a wish
Here's what
list.
we need. Well, not even
Well,
a
but
wish
Tom
list.
and
Here's what's
Melissa
optimal
know.
operationally.
Tom and Melissa know operationally what we need, okay? And so, I mean, we could retrofit a building, there's things we could do, but and I have people send me emails, hey, have you looked at this building? I'm like, no, I'm not a realtor, I don't know, I think I passed it on to you, like, people, I don't know, you probably get that too, hey, have you looked at this building? Hey, have you looked at that building? I mean, there's buildings out there, I would love to stay in the city of Youngstown, I would, you know, but there's not a whole lot of inventory that is going to be sufficient for us in the city of Youngstown.
At one point, there's a rumor they're gonna move us downtown to these 2 days, right? And we drove down there, there is no parking. There's just no parking to go
And
downtown.
it's floors, from the outside, it looks like it's not like, I mean, we need something sort of,
Yeah, there's, and the
Like a ball field.
curbside,
yes.
the curbside,
That's
there,
what my-
I don't even think there's a loading dock there. The curbside
Yeah,
would
we
be a
were like, how
nightmare.
would you even do curbside here? I mean, we just drove down there and stood there, like, I don't. But that's that lack of knowing of the enterprise. You know, Carla from Delaware, who finally got more space added in the new building, and what finally clicked with her commissioners was, because they kept thinking of it as an office, and that election happens out there. They didn't understand the actual enterprise of the storage as a workspace, curbside happens. that you need these things all year long, it's not just one day, and that there's more employees, and that's what finally moved the needle, as her commissioner came up during some of those, times.
Is the Youngstown Post Office still functional?
Yes, it's
The whole
Not-
building is still functional?
for the most part, it's not a processing, it's distribution now, I believe, or vice
Because
versa.
that would be perfect, because they have loading docks, plenty of parking, plenty of security, but it's a
That's
building in
interesting.
use,
That's interesting.
you
Be
know?
like Midwest
Nathaniel
and have their own
Jones
post
Federal
office.
Courthouse.
What?
Nathaniel Jones Federal Courthouse. It was on the GSA in March, and then it mysteriously got taken off. And,
There's not enough parking there.
That's that circular building?
Yeah,
yeah, but there's a parking deck across the street. Maybe we can rent it twice a year. I mean, I'm just throwing
People
things.
that come down.
The building itself would never work for.
It's 43,000 square feet. It has, it's pristine.
It is pristine, it's a nice.
it is
Um,
pristine, but the
It has
parking,
a parking deck underneath. I don't know, I think there's like 17 or 18 spaces, and then there's 50 spaces.
50 spaces for early voting
I understand,
is
but
terrible.
But it's floors, right? Like, it's not like,
Right,
like you might go to training and be on the third floor, you might be offices
In
here.
a presidential election, we have 70, 80 employees working here,
Yeah.
part-time, seasonal, all over the building.
well, it's off the GSA list, so it's not even a consideration, but I'm banging on the door because it's in the city of Youngstown. It's a great location. There is parking across the street. I mean, I'm trying to be solution oriented.
There's these old, I noticed on the west side of Youngstown, that old grocery store. What was the name of those grocery stores that opened up?
Bottom dollar.
No, it wasn't Bottom Dollar.
No, it's on Glenwood, correct?
No, there was one on the corner of Meridian and Mahoning.
That's Bottom Dollar. That was Bottom Dollar.
Bottom Dollar. And I noticed a couple of those buildings are empty. Now, I know they have loading docks. I don't know,
And they tend to be, as I said,
Get one
my
big
big explanation.
but they have a lot of parking. They have a loading dock. If anyone knows of one of those available, because it was a grocery store, so they have a loading dock.
And it's wide and
And it's,
spacious.
and it's wide and it's spacious, and it's in the city of Youngstown. You know, I was looking at that one, the Sparkle that just recently closed, is that in the city of Youngstown?
Yes,
It is.
yes,
And,
it is.
and did anyone go look, and what was wrong with that building?
Not enough space.
I don't think it's big enough, but that's.
You mean inside?
What is
It's
it, 20,000
26,000
square feet?
square feet.
Is that what, how many square feet is it?
I think it's 26,000 square feet.
And what do you say, we need at least 22?
Right.
Yeah, that was-
And that's our
Well,
goal.
we have a loading dock, it has a pretty good sized parking lot.
Plus it has land adjacent.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of an interesting option.
I thought that was important.
No, is that in Boardman, do you know, Gelada?
That's
You know-
right on the line.
Right
It's
on.
right on.
But
the
it's in
line.
Youngstown.
But it's Youngstown.
It's close, it's a nice proximity.
Yeah.
If it wasn't right in Youngstown,
Oh, no,
right
it's,
across Midlothian.
it's right there on Midlothian and, South Ave.
Where we at?
I think it's the last piece of property in Youngstown. You know, the library would have been perfect, but it's the library. On the corner of Midlothian, on the corner of Market and Midlothian, you know?
That was proposed 22 years ago. And then
Put
we
it
looked
forward,
at that,
yeah.
it's the old A&P.
Yeah.
We looked at that, and Commissioner
That would have been a perfect spot. Something up in that area. I noticed there's a new building being put on the northeast corner of Market and Midlothian. There's
That's a
some kind
gas
of,
station,
an A&P.
not gas station.
It used to be a gas station.
It's gonna be a gas,
Oh, it's gonna be a gas station.
A&J's or AJ's something,
Yeah.
Lowe's or what, that's a gas station.
So I think, thank you, David, for setting your hair on fire. We tease you, but we do appreciate that it did get some movement and that we're gonna have these meetings and at least we're gonna start some fruitful dialogue. But we do thank you.
My point is, I don't like setting my hair on fire, but I know how to do it. And I've learned after being in politics so long, that sometimes you should set your hair on fire to get people to move. I mean,
Okay.
I've been down in front of those kind of, I go down there and I yell. I don't yell, I just say, look, these are people's votes. You should take this serious. We do. All right, so Denise, thank you once again. And Lisa, thank you once again. And Sandra, thank you once again for putting my hair out. And-
Keep trying.
And being the bumper that I need, so I'm not like a ping pong ball. It's bouncing all over the place, but that's okay. The director's report.
I think Melissa might have something.
Oh, I thought we could talk about something nice after these weeks of, so what you have in your little packet there is the Mahoning County Board of Elections Educator Outreach, and David has been asking for this forever, and thank you to Brian and Brian on our staff, made a connection, so Wednesday morning, we're going to speak at the superintendent's meeting, which is all the superintendents in Mahoning County.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, and we're bringing them this little menu of what they can get from the Board of Elections in terms of outreach with the kids. At 17, they can be a poll worker. We can go in and do assemblies, we can do mock elections, which we've done before. They can actually have the safe and secure election speech if they want. They can come here for a tour, which isn't my favorite because the building, frankly, sometimes it's a problem. But in
Sometimes,
the future, that's the goal.
sometimes it's a problem.
Yeah, Struthers has
I
come
wouldn't want
twice.
any of those children up on the 5th floor. I wouldn't want any of those
There's no
children.
reason for them to go on the
They have been in the basement though, the Struthers kids have come when they do their civic day. But anyway, so we're pretty excited to go and have all the superintendents at once so that we can infiltrate all the schools at once. And then I put my cell phone number on here because it's easier to get a text and set up, and also my email. And so we're looking forward to that. And you'd be pleased to know that we were doing that on Wednesday.
When is that?
Tomorrow morning.
I would love to go. Because I'll tell you what would be good for us is if we could, you know, they all hold elections. Okay?
At the schools.
Yeah, they all hold, what time?
That's at 8:30, the meeting starts, I think, at 9.
Yeah. You're lucky I have court. But
Yes, she is. She can go do this, yes. I think she can handle this.
no, but what I would like to do is really stress to them that when they have their school elections, to have us come in and do it would be a great learning experience for the kids. And plus, you know, it would just be good for us as a good outreach for the public, you know.
We've done school elections in Boardman for class presidents. We've done prom elections at Boardman, Struthers, Camel. We've done a lot of different school elections. We must reserve 1 year.
Have we reached out to YSU to do their elections?
No, we never have.
Maybe we should do that, because they also, that's 14,000 students. They also run presidents and prom king and prom queen, and that's something,
Okay.
I just think it would be good to be out in the community to see how these things work.
I actually love it. I believe in civic engagement and I believe in getting in, you know, when the kids are young enough. And I also think it lends itself to people trusting our process when they see it up close and how the equipment works. So we will reach out to YSU.
I really think that would be, I guess you'd have to reach out to the president, Johnson.
You might know him.
You might know him.
Do you know him, Tom?
I think so.
Could you maybe make that contact? That'd be great.
Can I say something
Go ahead.
really quickly? It bothered me the last couple of meetings that we had so many candidates that didn't get their petitions quite right and their circulator statements. When we were in Columbus, there was a county, I think it was Wayne County. They were, at the beginning, when they gave out all these awards for all the boards of election that were recognized for doing exemplary work, there was a county that did a video of how to fill out their stuff. I propose that maybe we look at that, I'll track it down, I'll send it to all
Are
of
we
you.
allowed to do that?
They got an award for it from the Secretary of State.
Yeah, but I don't know when that directive came down.
I do. I talked to Frank LaRose last week multiple times on issues, and I brought up this issue with the strict compliance of this directive. And he did remind me, this was the John Houston directive that came out. And his advice to boards have been friendly advice. It doesn't have to be this strict of compliance that you would thought. It could be friendly advice that as candidates come in, you're directing them more. You're not telling them, but you're directing them. And you're giving friendly advice. And a specific example is the circular statement. that, we've never had that issue, because we used to catch those right at the, because that can be filled out after, it's supposed to be filled out, it has to be filled out after the petition is done. So I think the advice is, if someone comes in without the surcharge statement, we can say, did your surcharge fees, do you think you should fill these in or not? Not telling them to, but it's like friendly advice.
But I think Lisa's idea is not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That we could do a training video and put it, well, we don't have a website right now, right? We could put it on the website and say, hey, if you have any questions about the petitions, here's a video.
Right.
And we could walk through what we see as the most common mistakes, okay?
So,
I hated doing that, but
we also attended in Dublin, they did a candidate forum, where they talk about not only petitions, but campaign finance, and kind of, you could do those things. The only issue that ever, I think, arises out of that is that at the end of the day, once they come before the board, no matter what they've been told, they're still responsible at the end of the day, correct? So they bring the video and say, the video says this, it gets into those conversations, so.
they are ultimately
I'm
responsible for following the,
All for outreach
yeah.
and education.
But you said a couple weeks ago, you're like, it was in the packet that we sent out, it was in, I heard that several times, and I agree that everybody's responsible for their own reading, get up to stuff. However, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And other counties have done it, and it seemed like it was effective.
We could do a PowerPoint. Here is a petition. Here is what you need to fill out before you circulate. If things are in yellow, you don't have to fill everything out, just fill out the hours you're running for. Make sure that things match,
Right.
I'll hunt down the video, I'll send it to you. I
Yeah,
mean, it doesn't have to be any formal action on it today. I'm just saying, might be a good idea to make us better and to make the candidates' lives a little easier.
Well, especially challenging for the candidates that are like unaffiliated, the offices that are unaffiliated. Their ability to chair, because that was just one of the handle that problem, right? They had
Yeah.
checks within their parties. So it's,
you wanna hear a funny story?
I love a funny story.
So, the controlling case law in Mahoning County is a case called David Beatrice versus the Mahoning County Board of Elections, because on a circulator statement, I made that mistake, and I sued them, and that's where that law came from. That was back in the day.
I remember that.
Right,
And it's
so,
haunted you ever since.
well, it's been the controlling case law.
Because it is very much a shame, it's just a lack of understanding, and I think the petitions are confusing if the laws were different, but they're not. They were created at a different time
The
before.
petition's really not that confusing there. It's, the bar's kind of low.
It is, but I think it, like, for somebody who's brand new, they're like, oh, is it that big of a deal, this field? Like, I could see someone skipping a field because they don't think it's that big of a deal.
All right.
All right.
All right, anything under unfinished business? Anything under new business? Well, that's what we did under new business, right? Okay.
Under unfinished business, we have a list of the write-in candidates that filed in a timely fashion. The state's provided all the ballots. Come November, it's been the tradition, this board has never certified write-in candidates. I think it's something we might want to start getting our candidates for office, even though their name doesn't appear on the ballot.
They filed proper paperwork to be as a write-in.
Right.
So do we,
We never have certified write-ins, but I think it's something we probably should do. The law is silent on that, the revised code doesn't address that, but they are candidates. They're official candidates, I think the board should.
well, as long as you saying all of these people have, all they have to do is just sign a paper, right, saying that
Yeah,
they want to be a write-in candidate.
that's why.
And there's a deadline on that, correct?
That's correct, it's passed August 28th or 29th.
All right. So I'll take a motion that we allow all these people that requested to be write-ins, that you just handed us. I don't think there's a need to read every one. Does anyone want to give me a motion?
I move it.
There's a motion made by Lisa Robinson to allow everyone who timely filed to be a writing candidate, to be a writing candidate. Is there a second? Second it. Is there any comments? I have a comment. So, we gotta make sure when these ballots come in on election night that we can't just rely on the sticks. Because the sticks won't pick them up.
Right, the sticks will pick up, there is a write-in oval circle, and then Chris and Danny and James Larky then go back through those sticks and pick out the names.
Okay, so the sticks will pick up that there's a write-in.
That's correct, and we have to do that annually to count those.
Right, and that's, all right, so we just wanna make
So,
sure, because with the, on the mayor's racing in Struthers, we made that mistake, remember, we, I don't want that to happen again.
No, these are, that's a whole different circumstance, yeah.
I do it.
Okay, so we've got procedures in place to make sure that doesn't
Yes,
happen.
yes.
Okay.
so there's a form they fill out, they sign, they submit, they are not required to get any signatures at all, correct?
That's correct.
Right here.
But it does create a little bit of a kerfuffle for us on election night.
Yeah, it makes it a little more difficult. I've watched Chris and Danny
Correct.
kind of sit there and try to decipher what the person has written and what it looks close to.
No, well, the stick will pick up that there's a write-in, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And then we have to go get that ballot.
There'll be an electronic image of that,
Yeah.
the picture. So if there's a writing space at Mobile Council, they're gonna fill in that oval, and then we have a digital image of who they wrote in that space. And you've seen over the years, they'll write anything in.
Right.
Jim Shafkin, Mickey Mouse, Dave, Tom Cave, right?
Right.
Jesus Christ, right?
So we gotta make sure that that digital image is capturing,
That's correct.
and that'll show up on the stick?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Can we add a comment? Can I add a
Go
comment?
ahead.
So just so that people are aware, because most people aren't, that there's not a list posted at your polling location that has a list of write-ins. If you want to see a write-in, you have to ask to see the list, and then we have to put the list away. It cannot sit out, it cannot be posted. That's for the vote.
All right. And if a voter asks a poll worker, are there write-ins, what are we telling the poll worker? We just,
There's a list provided at each precinct.
and they just hand them the list?
They can look at the list, but we're not allowed to post that list. The voter has to ask.
Okay. All right, anything under, oh yeah, we need to vote.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Would the director call the roll?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Attorney
Yes.
Beatrice? Attorney Robinson?
Yes.
Attorney Baird?
Yes.
All right, now, under new business, we kind of already did that, right, Melissa? All right. So anything for the good of the order or public comments from anyone? All right.
Yes, so, last week, I was denied the opportunity to have my petition approved. And I'm just asking the board to reconsider. Speaking of petitions, signatures, I have almost 300 signatures. I made a mistake on the petition, I think I showed substantial, whatever the language is. And so I just ask that the board reconsider. I have almost 300 signatures, almost 150 signatures, more than what was required. There are no, on the ballot, there is no, I'm trying to remember the name.
Unexpired term.
There is no unexpired term. And so I'm just asking the board to reconsider allowing me to be put on the
Tom,
ballot.
is that a fatal flaw?
We need to ask you your name again, please.
Kenneth Donaldson.
Thank you.
Let me grab the petitions again, Brian.
Yes. Some things we have discretion over, some things we don't. If this is something we have discretion over, we'll take a look at it, but some things we don't. Like,
Right,
it's good, so it's called a fatal flaw.
Right, I did speak with Secretary of State, and really, I think you all mentioned it earlier today, every district is really autonomous, and really it is in your control.
Well, I'll have to ask Thomas.
With the unexpired term date, correct?
They were both marked unexpired and full term.
But he filled in a date.
Yeah, we filled in the dates, and I think something I wanted to say the last meeting, he filled in the date after he circulated at the counter. And listen, this board has substantial compliance and strict compliance that go up with this. And so the board determines that, and sometimes it varies from county to county. It's very meeting to meeting here sometimes.
So let me ask you, what did Mr. Donaldson do wrong?
He shouldn't have filled in the unexpired term and put a date. But the 300 signatures got, sometimes we were voters misled somehow. Did voters not know what he was running for? Let's go back to Poland Township. We had a candidate that put Mahoning Township. This board determined that there was no Mahoning Township, it's Poland Township, and she circulated in that case. Mr. Donaldson did not do that. He circulated at the counter and took that extra step at the counter that then got him disqualified at the counter.
Yeah, because he's
If
checked
he
both
would've done
full
nothing,
term
right.
and unexpired term.
If he would have done nothing and we would have accepted those petitions, we would have been.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that we know that when he went to the counter, those boxes were not checked?
That's correct. Correct.
Just the date.
It was
He
the
said he
date.
did the boxes because of the yellow highlight. The date was done at the counter
The
just
date
to
was
cover
done.
his bases.
Is that correct?
So when he circulated these petitions, that wasn't filled in.
That was not.
Well, that makes a difference for me. I don't
And
know
that
about
was
you.
kind of brought up at the last meeting, but it was kind of, I think, maybe lost in the discussion, lost in the sauce.
Everything else is all right with his petitions?
Right.
Mr. Donaldson, do you mind if I swear you in?
You do not.
Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? This is your answer unto the pains of perjury, or is your answer to your God? When you turn these petitions in, are you telling us that this unexpired term date was not filled in?
That's correct.
And so when you circulated these petitions, that date was not in there?
It was not.
The check marks on the nominating petitions where you have full term or an unexpired term, was that also checked at the counter?
The full term was not, but the unexpired term was at the counter.
That was checked.
Correct.
But when you circulated these, it was just for the full term.
Correct.
It does look like two
So we
different
put
pen
this
marks.
date in and think how we put this date in?
And then he checked this, you could see this check mark here is different than this check mark is different than that check mark. It looks like a different pen even. So the unexpired term ending date of 11/4/29, that wasn't there when he circulated the petition.
That date doesn't even exist in our election calendar, but it wasn't there when he circulated. I think the argument, I won't speak for you, but the argument he made at the last meeting was, before they pick up the petition package, we provide the yellow highlighted. And when they found the petition, you say, listen, here's where everything's filled in. And you provide that template again a second time. And I think at that point, that's where he made a mistake at the counter.
Well, I would make a motion to put them on, because even on this one petition, full term is checked in black, and an unexpired term is checked in blue, which means that when he circulated,
But if you check this, it doesn't look like the same ink as this one.
yeah, but look at this one here. One's blue and one's black.
these dates here and this check mark,
But this is different pen mark.
correct. But he said this date was not filled in, it was filled in at the counter.
Can I ask you a question about, on the nominating petition, was this date filled in? Or did you not fill
Let
it?
let me look at it.
Sure.
So I can see what you're talking about.
See where it says nominating petition?
Yes.
When did that date get filled in?
What do you mean? This right here?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this was actually at the count
All of them,
on for.
on all of these.
Yeah.
What was at the counter?
He filled in this and then checked these unexpired terms
At the counter.
at the counter.
At the counter.
But when he circulated the petitions, that and that were not filled in.
Okay, so your argument in favor is that no voters were misled
Yeah.
as a consequence
That's
because
what that's why I put him under oath, and that's what he swore to.
is it our custom or the way that we do things? Mr. Donaldson, or Reverend Donaldson, I just want to, I give you kudos
Kenneth is fine.
for, you know, for really, you really want this badly, and I respect that. Do we accept the second motion for consideration? Have we done that in the past?
You know, I don't know if we have or not, but reconsideration is at the discretion of this board.
Okay, I mean, I'm
We
asking
don't
a
have to,
question.
right, when we disqualify a candidate based on anything, the board is only given a courtesy for reconsideration. But it's not required.
On the one petition, I just noticed, he didn't even check the unexpired term. This one, yeah. We put the unexpired term right in here. I mean, I always like to defer to allowing people to be on the ballot, to allowing the suffrage to be ultimately with the voters and not with the board. So I would make a motion that we allow him to be on the board, on the ballot, after further consideration.
You need second discussion?
I'll second.
Second by Sandy.
Discussion?
Any discussion?
Mr. McCabe,
I think this board has a long history of substantial compliance among voters to pick their office holders not the board, and they've been part of that. This is an issue that, when it first came up, I thought might be a substantial compliance issue. But it's up to the board.
Go away.
I would have been shocked either way, which way the board went, but I always thought it was a substantial compliance issue, because it was done after the fact.
Look at me, Mom.
I think my standard's always been where voters misled or confused in any way. And if they were, then again, I don't have that vote, I've never had that vote.
the last time that we were here, Danny said that she watched him
Danny did.
fill in the unexpired term and the date.
That is correct.
Any other comments or concerns?
Mom, my
Would the
toy.
director call the roll? A yes would be placing him on the ballot.
Ms. Warder?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Attorney Robinson?
Yes.
Attorney Bagger?
Yes.
Okay, anything, oh, Jalada, you wanna stand up and state your name?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Austin Township. I have a few questions. Want to go back to that Secretary of State directive that you were talking about, where it showed that the building was out of compliance. What is the number of the directive and what date? And is this multiple directives or just one?
I think it's, there's multiple directives combined into one directive as of last year. I can print that off for you. Yes.
Okay. And since that happened, because you said you had it till October 28th.
29.
29th, okay.
August.
So was there a follow-up letter from the Secretary of State's office?
No, there's communications back and forth with their security team in each board of elections.
Okay.
So they know there's progress being made. I don't want to go back to that every county.
Right.
It's extensive. it's expensive.
Yeah, but I just wanted to know
Wood parts.
the director's number, they, you know, when it said, and if there was a follow-up letter, a formal letter from him in his office.
There is not.
But he is giving us some latitude because I text him. And he says, you know, you guys are working towards it, we can give you some latitude. But it wasn't like, hey, you try to get it. The director said you must be in compliance with these by August
There's
29th.
nothing on it that
I understand, and so it's director. And just kind of an FYI, everybody's always talking about the wish list, and talking about what they want. I've worked in or represented people in Mahoney County for close to 40 years. And I can tell you the one thing that they don't do is they don't really look at the cost of building a new facility. And when you talk about Columbiana County, I'm very aware of that campus. I used to represent Columbiana JFS. And so I remember when they were in the old raggedy buildings, JFS was on top of an old bowling alley after a fire. So they built all those buildings up on the hill in Lisbon. And it was, of course, well worth the investment. But they built them like they needed them. So, I mean, sometimes it's better to start from scratch instead of trying to, you know.
Retrofit.
Exactly. So I would say, when you look at your wish list, look at how much it would cost to build a facility.
Agreed and noted.
I totally, what they spent on this building compared to what they could have built new, it's already underwater.
It was like that before they moved in, but that's a different story.
You and I have been around long enough to know all the wreckage that happened from that. Anything else for the good of the order? Okay, the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Mahoney County Board of Elections will be held on Tuesday, October 7th at 4 p.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoney County Board of Election Officers at 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio 44502. And thank God for Sandy Barker. This meeting is now adjourned.
Thank God for Sandy Barker.